Hi everyone and welcome to Boothy's Bites. Boothy, our last Boothy's Bites for 2025. How did that happen?
Woo! It's 35 degrees here and I'm wearing this woolly hat. I'm melting.
I bullied you into it.
Yeah, you look much better with reindeer horns and ears than I do with a missing bauble hat. But anyway, I'm trying to enter into the festive spirit with you.
No, I love it. You look great. It's all A for effort, that's for sure.
Exactly right.
So, speaking of Christmas, what does the holiday period look like for the team this holiday season?
Yeah, well, firstly, we've got a lot of work to do before the 24th, I think it is. So we're hustling to get all of the settlements done in time to have a wonderful Christmas. But yeah, so the office shuts down, so we'll be taking a break over that period. So probably from sort of 22nd of December, we'll have sort of light staff, and then the staff will return on the 5th of January, I think it is. So that's good. But each one of our brokers, they're self-employed, so they are available, and we will be trying our best if there's things that we do need to do through that period. Obviously, we don't want to disturb clients through that period as well because they want a break. And the banks obviously have got light staff too. But this time of year is always hectic for the mortgage industry because we've got basically 1 month's work to do in like 3 weeks. That's why I'm grey and old. And then all the financial planners, they look fantastic because they're just out partying this time of year.
Yeah, they are. Non-stop Christmas parties for them.
Yeah, too true. Anyway.
So let's talk about the big one. Where are we sitting with the cash rate right now, and what's the latest from the RBA?
No! I mean, look, we knew like a lot of that work from the higher interest rates had cooled the inflation, and this year has been a reduction of those interest rates to then I suppose get back to a more neutral stance for the RBA. So the cash rate's still at 3.6%, but there's no doubt about it. The inflation pressures on the economy, have stayed around, and although the interest rate, the higher interest rates have got us back closer to this median level, the last couple of months of data has picked up again. So we're back above 3%. It's not crazy inflation, but nonetheless, I think when we said last month we might be looking for what this new cycle is, I think certainly short term, we might be looking at a 0.25% increase, maybe a 0.5% increase over the first half of next year, just to make sure that we really stamp out the inflation. The difficulty with the RBA though is that they've only got this kind of lever to pull to manage a few different elements of the economy. The other elements of the economy they're a bit more concerned about as well is growth. So the growth of the economy is a little bit slower than they're wanting and we're forecasting, and we do have tight employment right now, even though the unemployment rate is ticking up as well. So there's a few things in there which we'll have some deeper discussions with the RBA. I don't think they're going to change the interest rate in December. I think it's just too early to do that. That would be a big surprise for the market, but certainly the interest rate forecast right now, the 3-year interest rates and the 10-year interest rates have increased in line with this sort of expectation that certainly we're not going to get any reductions in interest rates in the next 6 months, and the probability now is for maybe a couple of increases. So a bit of a bummer for Christmas, but I don't think we're going to get the hike for Christmas, and that will cascade onto bank rates next year.
Yeah. Now let's shift into lender activity. When the broker team is reviewing options, what are the key things they're balancing for clients?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people, when they engage a broker, they always start out with price, which is obviously very important, and that is one of our first goals. We want to get you the cheapest interest rate possible. But the other big things that we want to make sure is that number one is that you've got a great banking platform to do your business, and number two, that the lender that we're supporting is not just a sort of a one-trick pony being price. So, we don't want them to be increasing interest rates or changing interest rates once they've got the little bit of market share with the discounts that they wanted. So we want to have someone who's, is really, has stability with interest rates and is supporting, our clients. And then lastly, we want really efficiency in the process, okay? So, the juggle sometimes is that we go to these lenders who've got great interest rates, but they're just not staffed, manned, or don't have the IT to accommodate the large volume of deals that they attract with those cheap prices. So all of those things are in the mix, and the broker will explain those to you as well. And the other things that we look at as well, even though those prices may well be attractive, not everyone qualifies, right? So the cheap rates go to people who've got low loan-to-value ratios, generally PAYG lenders, not sort of self-employed or complicated ownership structures. So again, it's an education piece from the brokers to tell the clients. And yeah, like I said, not everyone is eligible for those cheap rates. So as much as Google is great and ChatGPT is killing it, the knowledge of a broker and that sort of counsel and education that the broker gives is still invaluable for me. So there you go. Take that, Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, whatever you're called.
Absolutely. Nothing beats the human when it comes to expertise.
Especially if they're wearing a bobble.
Exactly. Now, rates have been...
I just realised I've got my cup which says best mum ever on it. Anyway, there you go.
You keep telling yourself that, Boothy.
That's it. Mr. Mum.
Mr. Mum. So rates have been moving around a little bit. Can you give us a snapshot of some of the rates available right now?
Yeah, so a few of the standouts, I think we've got Heritage and Kudos. Is there are sort of two cheap rates. Again, you know, those rates are there for. We've actually got some special rates for if you've got an energy efficiency house. And don't ask me how you qualify for the energy efficiency house, but our brokers will find out that information for you. But I figure if you've got solar panels to start, that's a good efficiency, right? And you can potentially get some cheaper rates with that as well. So if you do have what you feel is something, you know, a home with all of those efficiencies in place, you potentially could get some green rates, which are a little bit cheaper too. Macquarie Bank is our sort of go-to number one bank right now. They've got some really compelling variable rates, quick turnaround times as well. The fixed rates, they've moved up a little bit because of the inflation. So a lot of those cheap fixed rates we had last month, they've now been increased slightly. So some of the cheap ones there, we've got a $4.99 2-year fixed with Move Bank. We've got a 3-year fixed at $4.99 with Bank of Queensland. And there's a 5-year fix still with Teachers at $5.34. So I think Teachers there, it's sort of got to be a multi sort of social service. So that's Teachers, I think it's fire, police, nurses, all those sort of employees and clients as well. So some cheap rates there. For your investors, if you're looking at sort of mid-5s for a P&I variable, that's about where money is. Bendigo's got something at $5.39. And Bendigo doing some really good discounts right now. We really love Bendigo Bank, they're great. And then your interest only variable, probably a few points higher. So that's at sort of $5.60, $5.70. And Teachers, again, we're in there offering a really cheap interest only investor loan. But again, you know, first things first, come through to your broker, have a chat with them. They'll dig deep and figure out what the landscape looks for lending. We can apply for some discounts for the majors, because that's how they work. So, you know, your CBAs, NAB, St George, Westpac, ANZ, we've got to apply for discounts from those lenders to get the better rates. And they price on high volume as well. So, you know, $1 million plus debt, which sounds crazy, but there's a lot of them. They give the best interest rates too.
Sounds good. Now, November also brought some great work with Clear Credit Solutions. Can you explain how that partnership supports clients who are dealing with some credit issues?
Yeah, so I think firstly let's talk a little bit about what financial data is available to lenders and to us when we're doing a loan application, okay? The first point of call whenever we're looking and assessing credit is look at Equifax or Ilium, so two reporting agencies for your credit score or credit report. And what's on your credit report there is all of the behavior of your credit. So not only does it tell us what open credit and closed credit you've had, but also incrementally on a month-by-month basis, it reports in on hopefully you've made the repayments on time. Now, if you haven't made those repayments on time, your credit point and score deteriorates through that process, which is not great. So Equifax is a really important thing. Now, if things do go wrong, you know, you miss some payments, you forget to close a utility bill or things like that, or you know, things have happened in your life, you know, financially. It's not doom and gloom, okay? So even though that credit report is potentially bad, what that means is we work with professionals who kind of like deep dive into the reasons around that credit. They then can go back and work with the old credit providers to find more information or potentially support a bit of a process to work on payment programs or get rid of old, bad and ugly credit. And then what that means for the borrower is then going forward, we've actually then got a much better platform to try get better home products, interest rates and borrowing for the clients, which obviously come at cheaper rates as well. So there is a process. You know, the great guys at Clear Clear Credit Solutions, and Pete Calder, he's a champion. You know, those guys do an invaluable job for us because we're not specialists in doing these negotiations. Those guys are. So, you know, they're a big part of our sort of third-party team.
Sounds good. Now, before we wrap up, what's been happening around the grounds at Lydian?
Yeah, been a busy month again. So Andrew and I, well, I'm going to Brisbane this week. That's just this weekend. I'm going to go watch a rock concert with the boss of Sales Trekker, Dalibor Ivkovic. Okay, so apologies I can't pop in and see you, Jackie, but I know you're real busy anyway.
Yeah.
So unless you want to come to the rock festival with me. But then I'll have brekkie with Brendan on Monday morning, and then we're up in Newcastle doing a bit of an off-site. Roxy, myself, and a couple of our business partners as well, so that was cool. And then following week, we're in Melbourne for 3 days. So we're going to go see a couple of partners down in Melbourne. We're going to take out the Clark team and the brokers down in Victoria as well. And ding, 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 we potentially have a Collins Street office starting in the early new year. Welcome to Lydian, Melbourne. Woo-hoo! There you go. So that's a bit of news. And then lastly, the private guys, another great recruit. So we've got Alex Borham joined the team there, and he's been around broking for a wee while. We're really proud to get him on board and get him started in the self-employed role with Lydian and the private office as well. So yeah, plenty of things happening, and we've got a couple of other brokers just joined us as well. So we'll celebrate those in January as well. So we've just got Jorge just joined us from out in Rouse Hill area, I think it is, the Hills District. And he's doing great already, you know. He's an ex-engineer, very technical, very studious, got a big property portfolio himself, and he's really investing time and effort into educating clients too. So we've got a few new people on the patch ready for 2026.
Bring it on, I say. Well, Boothy, thank you so much for your time and your expertise throughout 2025 and jumping on every month and recording this. And everyone who's watched, thank you so much for your viewership, and we will see you next year. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah, just quickly, just before we do go, look, firstly, Jackie, thank you for doing this with me. I mean, it's a bit of a blog, and you said, look, we really appreciate people watching. Let's not kid ourselves, no one's watching. That's good. But secondly, if they do and they do check in, it's a bit of fun. But I think the journey of Lydian is important to us, and we can only do it with the good people, the good partners, the good brokers, people like yourself involved in it, Jackie. So from Andrew and I, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and take a nice break, be safe and sound, and we love you all. We just want to say thank you to everyone. So, and especially yourself, Jackie. You've been a champion too. So, and I can't wait for December, Just Jackie.
Yes, it's coming soon. It's been filmed. Stay tuned.
Woo!
Thanks, Boothy. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Cheers.